and welcome to VR Reviews. Today we'll be reviewing the Star Wars Black Series Emperor Palpatine. So yes, here we have the newly released Emperor Palpatine from the Star Wars Black Series. He's one of my favorite characters, so I went ahead and picked him up pretty quickly. He is pretty cool. Same level of detail and articulation you might expect from the Black Series. Unfortunately, he comes with no Force Lightning effect, so if you want some Force Lightning like this, buy the terrible Marvel Legends Electro figure, and use those hands because they work pretty well for that. So yeah, other than that, let's go ahed and zoom into the articulation, sculpt and details, all those sorts of things.
Alright, so off with a quick size comparison. Of course, here we have Palpatine. Here's our standard Marvel Legends 6-inch Cosmic Armor Iron Man and 3 3/4-inch Marvel Universe Wolverine. Palpatine is noticeably shorter than a standard 6-inch figure, partially because the Black Series figures are just slightly smaller than Marvel Legends, and partially because he's an old man and therefore shorter than everyone else on the planet. And of course, he is much bigger than a 3 3/4-inch figure. Now let's get everything else out of here and just look at Palpatine. Alright, moving on to our 360 spin. Here you can see Palpatine. Honestly, there's not a lot to look at. He's wearing a black robe. The upper part of the robe is kind of a shiny material, which is a bit weird, and I kind of wish they hadn't done that because it doesn't match the bottom, which is a soft rubber. There's not a lot of sculpting, just a little bit of cloth folding and things like that. He's got black shoes down there, which you can see, and he's just got kind of standard black pants underneath that. He's got two bare hands there. One's in a pointing position, and the other one is in a holding position for his cane. And that is really about it. Pretty bland looking, but he also just looks like Palpatine whenever he doesn't have his cloak on, so that's all fine. Let's go ahead and zoom in on his head sculpt. Zooming in on Palpatine's head sculpt, I think it looks pretty good. He's got some red eyes there. He's got lots of nice wrinkles and shading in his face. Looks like a proper old shriveled up dude. And he's got a little bit of hair there in the back. Perfectly acceptable. I have no issues with it. Now let's go ahead and zoom out and look at some articulation. Articulation-wise, Palpatine's pretty standard for the Black Series. Ball joint head, up and down, rotation, ball joint shoulders in and out, forward and back. Bicep cut, he actually has double jointed elbows, which I feel like I don't see on a lot of Black Series figures. Rotation and hinge in the wrist. He has a ball peg here in the waist. Underneath his robe, he does have full leg articulation, ball joint hips in and out, forward and back. Thigh cut, double jointed knees. And then he has the ankle pivot and hinge. So you can pose him in loads of different ways that Emperor Palpatine has never posed in. So if that's something that interests you, that's perfectly acceptable. Palpatine does come with a couple of accessories. Let's go ahead and look at those. Accessories-wise, Palpatine has his walking stick, which is essentially just a curvy, black, shiny stick, which he can walk around with. And then, of course, he has his cloak. It's a nice, big, soft goods cloak. It's got a little plastic clasp there in the front, which comes out really easily, but it will stay there once you put it there. As far as cloth accessories go, it works pretty well. It doesn't inhibit articulation or anything. The hood actually hangs down fairly well. I don't have any big issues with it. I think just having him have a sculpted cloak would have been fine too, since Palpatine pretty much always wears that cloak. But it's fine. I think it's fine that they made it a removable cloth piece, since they didn't do it terribly. That wraps it up for Palpatine and all of his accessories. Let's go ahead and move on to the packaging. Packaging-wise, Palpatine has the standard Black Series packaging. Big window here, picture of Palpatine up there, Star Wars Black Series Emperor Palpatine at the bottom. And on the back you get a little description, as well as some artwork of Emperor Palpatine. As always, these are good for in or out of package display, so yeah, Emperor Palpatine.
Alright, that wraps it up for Palpatine, so until next time, goodbye!
Hello, you've just watched one of my videos. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed my videos. If you didn't, run away and never return. Also, feel free to check out my other channels, Venom Raptor for all my variety gaming content, and VR Reviews for reviews of various action figures and collectibles. Thank you, and goodbye.